Wait.
What
We have to show first.
She needs to go out. Because all you guys are going to be able to hear is a pug snoring. Say bye, Penny. Say bye to the people. You're going out. You can go take your nap somewhere else because all she does is snore really loud. Back in 2022, we went to a little place called the Florida Keys.
Florida Keys. Got it.
Anyway, so we thought, you know, back then we didn't have a channel, our travel channel, but I still, because I always have videotaped a bunch of stuff. So we're going to talk about that and show you guys. We tried to stay in Key West, but it was very expensive. And so we kind of like made our way back up. These are my keys. Look, Florida Keys. You know, Key West is down here. And so the more north you went, the cheaper the places got. So at the very tip, there's a place called Key Largo. And that's where we ended up staying at. VRBO. It was very expensive to stay there. It was $500 a night, Canadian. Zoe wrote a journal when she was, how old were you in 2022?
I was like 12 or 13.
13. You had just officially turned into a teenager.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was absolutely a lovely, lovely trip. It was magical. It was beautiful. We're going to talk about what we did in the Florida Keys. And the first thing we're going to talk to you about is the apartment that we stayed at. When you first walk in, there was a bedroom to the left that had 2 double beds. This is where our moms were staying, my mother-in-law and my mom. Here is the bathroom. It was small, but it did, did the trick. Shower tub combo. It was very nice though. Everything was super clean, and this was the mom's bathrooms. So now we're walking back down into the kitchen. Into the kitchen.
They had a table.
I don't know. It wasn't a very big, and it wasn't
kitchen.
A very big kitchen, but it had everything that you needed. Well decorated. I don't even think we sat.
Fit the vibe.
And I don't think we sat at that table once. And this was the very best part of the whole condo. The view. I think we mostly just spent most of our time sitting in the balcony. We ate out here. We drank our coffee out here. It was absolutely just lovely. And then off into the balcony was the master bedroom. We just blew up the air mattress for Zoe. She slept on the bottom, but on the floor. But it had a king size bed, and then it had an ensuite on it. Again, nothing huge, but it just did the trick. It was glorious. It was such a nice condo. Like I said, the balcony was definitely the star of the show, if you will. That was the video by the apartment. Just to retaliate, go through it. It was a 2-bedroom. This was the bedroom where they had 2 double, I think they were queen beds, 2 double beds, 2 queen beds. And then there was the kitchen living area. Again, it wasn't a huge space. The kitchen was kitchen table was not huge either. It had a 4 people. The living room had the nice patio door that was going right out of the balcony.
They also gave us Netflix, I think. I had to use it on Netflix, but...
Were you watching TV when we were in the Keys?
Yeah,
Really? I swear, you guys, I spent most of my time on that balcony. But
it got too hot, man.
And it would make sense because it was all adults usually out there talking and yakking, and she was 12, 13. She didn't want to hear adult talk. But, definitely I'm sure it had Netflix and all that stuff, right? But these are the pictures of the balcony. It was a beautiful view. It was just awesome. Like I said, we would watch the sunrise,
the sunset,
and the sunset.
I have so many photos of the sunset.
This is the picture of the master bedroom with the ensuite. Here's the ensuite, but the master bedroom had also the patio doors going out to the balcony. It had very simple decor. Kind of like an ocean beach. Yeah, here's a little bit of the view on the patio, the balcony. We would just sit there, and
it's very windy.
It wasn't windy. It was breezy. A beautiful, breezy island vibe. It was very quiet there, like very, very quiet. And yeah, the guy downstairs, he told us we could borrow his kayaks, which was super nice of him. We never did use them, but he did say we could use them. I was definitely living my best life. And then down
to the water.
To the water.
And
when we looked in there,
their sharks would always come up.
Yeah, we had to Google because we weren't sure. We had never seen, like, we don't have that kind of stuff around where we live. And so we would sit there and watch the nurse sharks. And was there other kind of fish too?
I don't really remember.
I don't either, but I know there was definitely the nurse sharks. So they were definitely kind of cool to look at. Yeah, they were just kind of like swimming around. Zoe and her grandma actually also went swimming.
Oh, it freaked me out. I did not want one of those sharks to come up when I was swimming. I don't know why.
And nobody, like, never did.
No.
And what did you find, Zoe, when we were in the Keys?
So it's like really common. You just like walk. You're just walking around, and then there's just these coconuts on the side of the road. And my dad was like, "Oh, bring one and we'll open it." But we couldn't figure out way to open it, so I just kept it for the whole trip. But you're not allowed to bring fruits and stuff back across the border, so I had to leave it. But it was with us the whole trip. I think like I found it like the first day we got to Key Largo.
Yeah, she packed this coconut around for like 3 weeks or whatever, 3.5 weeks. And then the day that we left Florida, like we were staying at the Legacy Dunes, which our next video is going to show you that. And then she hid it in the bushes at Legacy Dunes and gave it its new home. But yeah, like it's just such a magical place. So anyway, it was really like the star of the show was that balcony. We spent a lot of time on that balcony. So to get to the Keys, when you're driving there, as this video kind of shows, but it's basically you have like the long, your road, but you have water on either side of you. It was a little bit rough when we were driving through, so the waters weren't as turquoise blue as they can be, but believe you me, they are turquoise blue when the seas are a little bit calmer. And it was a beautiful drive. Like, and then wasn't there that bridge that we went across?
Like a mile bridge.
The 7 mile bridge? So that was definitely a pretty cool experience. You can't drive super fast. Like, it's not, I guess, like a freeway by any means. It's definitely like more of a slower paced drive, but it's still a very beautiful drive. So while we were in the Keys, we were there for 3 days. Before we even checked into our hotel, we ate at a restaurant.
It was called KeysBite restaurant.
It was all...
I have a business card.
But it was all outside.
I remember... Sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I remember in the bathroom they had like this key lime scrub, and we'd like go back like 3 times in the bathroom to use the key lime hand scrub.
And you could buy it because
you could buy it. It was like $12.
Yeah, because I think both of the moms ended up buying some of that scrub. But it was such a vibe. Like we just kind of sat out there and ate. Like I ordered conch, which I'd never had conch, but apparently it's a thing to do down there. And then the next day we ate at another restaurant that was all outside. People playing like live band or whatever. But it was really nice too. I had the lobster roll, and I can't remember what everybody else had, but I had a sangria, and I walked back to the condo. But yeah, definitely no lack of places to eat, and they all kind of have that island vibe to them. I guess it's all like not all outside. I think you could eat inside if you want. But
the weather was so nice.
It was so beautiful. It was like such a beautiful, like it was the most perfect 3 days ever. So then the second day that we were there, we drove down to Key West. And do you remember what we did in Key West, Zoe?
I remember you bought this really expensive drink because you can like just walk around.
It was ridiculous.
With drinks like on, but they're really expensive.
think it was like $20, like Vegas prices. It was a little ridiculous, but it wasn't even that good. But whatever, I did. I walked around with my little drink, walking around Key West. We went to the southernmost, what's it called? The
southernmost point in the USA. We were like, 90 miles from Cuba?
Oh, you remember some facts. Something like that. I think we're very close to Cuba, but...
I have, wait, do I have a postcard of it? No, I don't.
No, but just be warned, like, when you go to the southernmost point, it's definitely a place that a lot of people take their pictures at.
Yeah, I still wait to get pictures.
Yeah, there was a lineup.
But I got a picture with no people in it.
Yeah, so, like
from, like, the transitions from, like, when people, like, switch, you can just, like...
But there was definitely a lineup, and I think we waited probably a good half an hour to 40 minutes to wait our turn to get our picture in front of there. But that's okay. We were on island time, so we weren't really in a hurry. But that is in Key West. And so we did that. It was kind of cool. And another thing about Key West.
Oh, the chickens.
Everywhere.
Like, it's just so... I feel like chickens aren't...
I don't know what it is.
Oh, we see a lot of chickens up here in the north, but not on an island.
They just run, they roam free there. And, like, we went into this little gift shop, and there was one that was, like, on the roof of the gift shop. Like, yeah, they're everywhere. Roosters and chickens everywhere. So be prepared for that. If you're scared of chickens, you might not want to go to Key West.
Yeah, they're everywhere, and they're, like, very, like, human tolerated, so they'll just kind of follow you around.
What else did we do? What did we buy when we were in Key West?
Oh, we bought a key lime pie. It really just doesn't compare to any other key lime pie out there.
It was the best key lime pie ever. Like,
it's the best pie ever.
It was so good. And, like, I did a little bit of research before we went, and everybody's like, oh, you got to buy the key lime pie from this company. I can't even remember. Okay, if I remember, I'll put it down here. It was and we brought it back to the apartment. I'm like, how good can this really be?
It was really good.
Like, it was creamy and limey. It was delicious. Like, I still dream about that key lime pie. Don't you? And I've tried to recreate it at home, and it doesn't even
And you
compare.
have to get the limes from there, I feel like. That's just what it is.
The key limes, not just regular limes. You gotta get the key limes. So we spent the whole day exploring Key West, and that was great. We had lots of fun. And the next day, we didn't go quite to Key West, but I can't remember, but there was a place that you could go and feed the tarpon. And I had this grand, beautiful idea. I'm like, oh, we're gonna go feed the tarpon. Tarpon, by the way, are like fish, and they're like huge.
And they're like, oh yeah, they don't hurt. They're super gentle.
And I'm watching YouTube videos on them, and I'm like, oh, this is gonna be so fun. This is gonna be fantastic. Da da da. So we go and we pay. We get our silly little, feeder fish, and the people are like, oh, watch out for the pelicans, because they'll try to take your...
Oh, we fought so much with the dumb pelicans.
My husband kept trying to smack him around. We're like, okay, this isn't working. So we went to a different spot. But the water, I just want to say the water was so blue and turquoise. Yeah, it was just really beautiful.
I was way too scared to feed the tarpons.
You did it. I have a video of you doing it right here. Look.
I just remember feeding the pelicans because they're funny.
And easier, maybe. But yeah, you take your little fish and you kind of stick it in the net, and the tarpon come up and they eat it. And here's my hand being eaten by a tarpon. It literally, that tarpon, I put, say this is my hand, that tarpon came and I felt its whole mouth.
It just missed
it went, my whole hand was in that tarpon's, and then it went like this, and I could feel the scraping. My bloody hand was bleeding everywhere, and I was like, oh my goodness. I'm I'm kind of walking around the dock, and all of a sudden another guy came up to me, and his hand was all bleeding. He's like, yeah, you got to watch those things. They'll get you. And I'm like, no kidding. It took a long time for my hand to heal, a good 2-3 weeks. Here's a picture of it about a week later. I don't recommend feeding the tarpons. And I honestly...
The pelicans are cool, though.
The pelicans were cool, and...
Some manatees came up.
There was manatees, and you could kind of see them from the distance. They weren't that close. But, you know, it was cool. But honestly, like, if you're going to feed the tarpon, like, don't stick your hands in the water. I guess that's my tip.
You're not supposed to.
I didn't hear that part.
Mom! Okay, no wonder you got bit. You have to, like, dangle it above the water, and then they jump up.
I'm pretty sure I put my hand in the water.
You're not supposed to do that. Okay, don't listen to the instructors when they tell you not to do that.
Lesson learned. I'm pretty sure. Maybe I didn't, but I'm pretty sure I did. Anyway, that wasn't the greatest experience, but you know, I had to like cross the bucket. Like I had my little list.
Yeah, you'll be fine if you actually follow the rules.
I had my little
I
list.
didn't know that's what you did.
I had a little list of all the things I wanted to get checked off on my Key West. And one of them was feeding the tarpon. One of them was having key lime pie. We did that. The other one was having a drink around Key West. I did that. I wanted to try conch. And my other one was, what was my biggest one?
Manatees. She wanted to see wild manatees.
I wanted to see wild manatees. So after we went and got attacked by the tarpons.
Where did we go?
We went to the Pro Bass Shop or something like that. And then there was like a little restaurant around there and stuff. And we're walking around kind of on the dock, just minding our own business. And we looked down.
They're like 3 of them.
You guys, my heart.
I have a video of that.
It was like, that was the highlight of my whole trip. That and the balcony.
They're so cute. Like, they're like actually so adorable. And they're so friendly. Like, they just come up to you and hang out with you for a while.
And all they seem so gentle.
Yeah.
Like, oh, real live manatees. It was such, like, yeah, you might see manatees if you go to the Keys. Like, that is not something that is, I don't think is rare. Like, I think it happens quite often.
Well, there's some people fishing beside us, and they're like, oh, there's the manatees.
Yeah, like, it was no big deal.
It wasn't, yeah, we hung out with them for a while.
Yeah, it was such, like, it was so, like, oh my goodness, like, just my highlight for sure. That was our 3-day trip to the Keys. It's definitely like when you're not used to seeing manatees and there's sharks. It's like if you guys
came up and saw a moose.
Yeah, like to tourists, like to us, like it was. I just want to go back. I want to go back to Key West. I want to go back there and just relive that whole experience because it was like. It was so amazing. It was, yeah. If you guys ever wonder if you should go to the Keys, go. Like,
it's really worth it.
It's so magical. It's expensive, but it's so magical. Like, I just, I would do it over and over and over again. And so we will end this little video with my Key West TikTok video that I made on it. And that's the end of the road for us. And we'll catch you later.
Aruba, Jamaica, ooh, I wanna take you. Bermuda, Bahama, come on, pretty mama. Key Largo, Montego, baby, why don't we go? Jamaica, off the Florida Keys. There's a place called Kokomo. That's where you wanna go to get away from it all. Bodies in the sand.